I met this man in 2020. I wanted to have a man pay attention to me. I wanted somebody fun to hang out with. I wanted to have sex. So I found somebody. And this man was basically the first man that ever paid attention to me. I had sex with, made me feel like a girl, not a trans girl, but a girl. Made me feel like I belonged to the world for a second. And he ended up dogging me out and toying with me. And now he's in a grave next to my brother. This is somebody that told me he would never go anywhere, and I guess now he won't. And it's so mind trippy that out of all the places at this cemetery to be buried at, he just happened to be buried around the corner from my brother. I mean, I can't make this shit up. And it just kind of validates for me that maybe what I had with him was real, even if it wasn't some monumental situation where it was, monumental to me, but even if it doesn't seem like a big deal to the external world, it was real. But this was probably the first and only man I have ever had any loving feelings towards, or any type of affection towards. And looking back on it now, I realize he didn't love me. I didn't ever think he loved me, but I think in my 27-year-old mind at the time, I loved him. And so to feel loved for the first time, whether that means, oxytocin and adrenaline were doing its thing or whatever, feeling loved for the first time is a really, it's a mental fuck. Because I realized that not only did he not love me, but I didn't feel loved by anybody in my family. I never felt loved by my parents. I never felt loved by my siblings, never felt loved by any of my friends, none of the guys I dated. I never felt any type of emotional anything for anybody except for this man that maybe didn't feel the same way. And so when I found out that this man got brutally murdered and placed in a grave next to my brother, it made me feel very abandoned and lost. And now trying to connect to people is hard for me. I got the rug pulled out from under me, and my relationships with people in my life are completely different. My brother that passed away, he always used to tell me he loved me, and I used to tell him I loved him, and we used to hug. But I realized there was never really an emotional component there. Part of that might be because we were so far apart in age and he wasn't around very much. But just in general, I never had that feeling with him. And so this man that I was seeing and feeling loved for the first time completely destroyed everything in my life for me. I'm a social person and I want friends and I want to connect with people, but I find it so hard to do now. And I don't trust people. And even if people are being nice to me, I don't believe them. Because most of the time, even when people are being nice to me, they're not being genuine. And so life is just really weird to me and I don't know how to deal with it sometimes. But I have such a desire to have friends and possibly have a boyfriend or maybe a husband at some point in life. I just don't know if that'll ever happen or how I would go about doing that. Because of this man. And I also feel like if I ever get involved with another man, there's always a ghost, you know, over my shoulder. It's just really fucked up, and I hate that that man did that to me. I just want to feel like life is worth living again and have fun and be free and be at peace.